Trump to take from President Carter?
Decency. 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 Everybody deserves a shot. Everybody. Can you imagine Jimmy Carter walking by someone who needs something and just keep walking? Can you imagine Jimmy Carter referring to someone by the way they look or the way they talk? I can't. I can't. You know, I think the end of the deal here is that one of the reasons why we're looked to by the rest of the world, with the bulk of our nationhood, we've laid out what our values are.
Unbelievable.
We said what we believe.
What a disgrace.
It's not just in the Declaration, we hold these truths to be self-evident, but there's a feeling. The rest of the world looks to us. And he was worth looking to. So thank you very much.
You just can't make this up.
America is mourning the loss of Jimmy Carter. The 39th president passed away yesterday at the age of 100. He was the nation's longest living president. A national day of mourning and state funeral are set for...
No. I just want, before we get into this, y'all, want to send my love and condolences, but it's a disgrace, man, with these Democrats. And it's just sad that they can't keep Trump out their mouth. That they found a way to attack Trump and wipe Trump again through the mud. But again, it backfires, And we're done, Joe. Joseph, we're done. Brandon, we are done. Then fell asleep, then fell down, then went on vacation. We ought to think they walk you out in handcuffs, sir. Just being honest, we ought to think they walk you out in handcuffs.
For January 9th, both President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump offering moving tributes to Carter. Trump posting, in part, quote, "While I strongly disagreed with him philosophically and politically, I also realized that he truly loved and respected our country and all it stands for. He worked hard to make America a better place, and for that, I give him my highest respect." Meanwhile, Biden addressed the nation from his vacation in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Unbelievable.
Jimmy Carter stands as a model of what it means to live a life of meaning and purpose, a life of principle, faith, and humility. His life dedicated to others.
But during Biden's comments, the media appeared to see Biden's remarks as a bit of an opportunity to get a dig in at Trump, and Biden seemed a bit eager to oblige.
Thank you. President Trump to take from President Carter?
Decency. 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 Everybody deserves a shot. Everybody. Can you imagine Jimmy Carter walking by someone who needs something and just keep walking? Can you imagine Jimmy Carter referring to someone by the way they look or the way they talk? I can't.
Tammy, he was given...
Telling you, he said, Trump, take notes. Well, at least Biden at the man, you know what? He died in peace. And he died knowing that he wasn't just the worst, the worst president award does not go to him. He died knowing that, Biden. That you get it, sir. So let's have some decency on that, sir. Let's have some decency on that.
The opportunity, and he took it with a grin on his face there.
Look, it's a shame and it's embarrassing for Joe Biden. He had that gritted teeth thing that he does. I've said before on this program and other places, and we know for 50 years Joe Biden has been a jerk. So perhaps he should take some of his own advice with what's happened to this country. It was an opportunity, as President Trump, I think, illustrated, to be generous, right? Be generous. American people have made their decision. We're all Americans. We're moving forward. We will disagree politically and philosophically, but it's just a remarkable and a shameful thing to watch, but it is classic Biden. This is what we've been seeing, and it's partly what the American people don't like. You might not agree with Trump's style, but Biden is presented as being, as he was, the unifier and the nice guy, and Scranton Joe, and he's mean and he's a bully, and it's a shame and it's embarrassing and it's unfortunate.
Decency, he said. He goes through gritted teeth there. John, we're delighted to have you with us. Thank you for being here as we look back on the life of the former president and your thoughts on the way the current president reacted there in that moment.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
It's so great to be with you.
Happy New Year.
Actually, I think hearing those statements from President Biden, it's part of us wanting to think better of President Carter. President Carter didn't treat President Reagan that way at the end of his time in office. It also reminds us Carter was a good man. He was a smart man, both before his presidency and after his presidency. You might disagree or agree with him, but I think the American people knew he was doing his best and he had the future of the country at heart. He, though, like Biden, had, I think, a failed presidency because they were both defeated by inflation. They were both defeated by foreign policy challenges. With Carter, it was the Iranian Revolution, the hostages, the Soviet Union on the march all around the world. With Biden, again, inflation, also undone by the Middle East. And Ukraine, of course, and the war in Israel. Both men, I think, were undone by those circumstances and hopefully will be followed by stronger, better leaders. Reagan then, hopefully Trump now.
There's so many beautiful tributes coming out, and we just see sometimes you take the bait, I guess, in the moment.
Well, in fairness, they were undone by, inflation and foreign policy, but those were also decisions of their own making that created their, political downfalls. And so it is fitting that Joe Biden was one of the first to endorse Jimmy Carter in 1976, because they do share a lot of those same policy failures, both economically as well as with foreign policy. And sort of this misplaced judgment of embracing enemies and rejecting friends, particularly in the Middle East, which led to the Iran hostage crisis that went on for 444 days. Or for Joe Biden, your policies helped facilitate Iran's involvement with the worst day for Jews since the Holocaust, the most deaths since the Holocaust, with the recent terror attack in October, not too long ago. So, a lot of that was their own doing. The difference between the two men is Jimmy Carter will be known for having a level of decency, for loving his wife for 77 years, for being someone who flew commercial and took photos with people, walking down the aisle along the way, for teaching Sunday school at his local church after leaving political office. So he will be known for having a failed president, but a decent man, where Joe Biden will just be remembered as a failed president and an indecent man.
Lisa's drawing some contrast there, Nicole.
Yeah, so you know what, I'll be honest, I was disappointed with a lot of people's responses after his death was announced. There was a lot of people that were saying, well, we mourn his loss, but. And even President Trump in his post said, I didn't agree with him politically. Like, at some point, can we take the politics out and just focus on the human being? As Lisa just alluded to, he was all about faith, family, and the American people. Married to his wife for 77 years, taught local Sunday school at
you know what? I just have to make a pause for that right there. I love what she said right there. Can we take the politics out, man? But sadly, the times that we live in, especially right now, people hold grudges. People, they can't take it out. I'm sorry, but I love that she made that comment there. Out of everybody on the panel, I love that she said that. But it just won't happen. It just won't happen, man. And especially with now how politics has affected everybody's life. And again, and so many history heads out there. Yeah, there's gonna be there will always be but. There will always be but. Especially when it comes to these elected officials, there's no other way around it. And that goes for either side, Democrat, Republican, or if you're on this side, that side, either side.
his church. He brought the guinea worm. It was not that everybody knows what that is, but it's a huge public health issue that was global, and he brought the incidence down by 99.9%. He helped lead those efforts. He also lived with stage 4 melanoma for years. This was a good human. And I think people can just focus on that, and we don't have to say, this is good, but President Biden obviously did that. He said it with gritted teeth. It was really upsetting to watch it, and it wasn't his handlers. It wasn't like that was an prompter. That actually is what he said, and, he failed, and I think he's just going to continue to go out looking like a bitter old man.
Yeah, I guess, but I also just think that's just being honest, right? I mean,
Absolutely,
it's
you can be honest,
reflective
but I don't know if it's not necessary, in my opinion. I think that when someone dies, you can either say something positive about them or say nothing at all. I mean, that's what I teach my children.
But, history is complicated and people are complicated. And so I think it's just taking into account the complexity of all that and just being truthful. I mean, I see your point, but I guess I take the point of, let's just be honest.
Yeah, well, we can have the conversation about his politics. I mean, these are all excellent points that you talk about. I mean, and we can say a lot of negative things about them. I just think in the moment when you're talking about someone dying, that's not the time to talk about their policies.
No doubt far more than a president, a man of faith, a man of peace.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what do y'all think? But rest in peace, Jimmy. We all got to die. We all got to die and pay taxes. And I say send them patriots back their refund. Yeah. Y'all done lied. The government, they ought to be shut down. They ought to just shut the whole thing down and lie and send everybody a stimulus check or send everybody back their money or something, But you can't. You got to pay taxes and you got to die. And there's always going to be a but. And then, Biden, he got to go out with a bang, He doing all kind of things. He's selling the materials, the wall. He got regrets. He's saying he could have beat Trump. He's saying that, Trump need a little bit of, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Talking about Jimmy Carter's decency. Yeah, he didn't badmouth Trump, giving remarks on somebody that then died. You just think it can't get low, but it gets lower. You just can't make it up, man. A bitter old man. And they ought to walk him out of there with them handcuffs. Him, his son, everybody, the whole Biden crime family. Dr. Jill, they ought to walk everybody out of there with their hands behind their back. A disgrace. Happy New Year's. I love you guys. Let me know what y'all think of this, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, family.